Hello, this is Rafa. Welcome to another page in my homesteading diary. Hello, hi. It's been a little while since I've given you a tour, so I thought I'd come out here. It's been so rainy the last several days. We finally have the sun peeping through a tiny bit today, so I figured it's a good day for a tour. Winter 23. So here is the broccolini. I have harvested a second time now. Go and see the video I did on that. This is all that's left of them. There are some stalks coming up, so I'm not gonna toss it out just yet, but I do believe that I'll be getting my last harvest off of that. This is one that I should have probably tossed a good while ago, and part of the problem is, well, let me see, does this feel soft? Yeah, that's kind of dead right there. It's not mushy, but it's definitely soft. I kept thinking it was gonna try to live, cause see how there's that green shoot right there that looks nice and vibrant. But one, I think I may have cut too many of the leaves off. And that might be impeding the energy. And I don't know, this is one that struggled after that big freeze that came through. Here's my Brussels sprouts, and can I get in close? Can you see? I have some, Can you see? I have some little Brussels sprouts coming. I'm so excited. Here's my collard greens. I think I'm gonna just go on and start trying to harvest a few leaves at a time. I was hoping to get some nice huge leaves, but maybe that's not what this variety does. So before they all start going like this, I think I'm gonna just harvest some, and because it seems like I'm constantly coming out popping off this kind of stuff. And at that rate, I'm never gonna get to eat any. Brussels sprouts, I don't see. Oh, there's some little Brussels forming. Can I see? Can I show you? Oh, look at it, so cute. It's so cute. Look at the little Brussels sprouts. I'm so excited. Those two down there have just remained stunted no matter what I do. There's a Brussels sprout over there. This is a bed of different kinds of radishes, if you remember me planting those. So I'll see how much longer that takes to come up. These are the carrots that I planted. So let's see, get this grass out of there. Carrots, from what I understand, can be kind of fickle. If I had it to do again, when I plant, well, not if I have it to do again, because I am gonna plant more carrots, I would definitely add a little bit more sand and perlite to the mix, just to make it this is not very compacted, but it's definitely holding the moisture, and I just feel like the carrots need something that's a little looser still. So I planted some Detroit red beets, as you can see, on 12-14, and geez, I don't know, I just never seem to have much luck with beets. Every time I try to plant some, they just, they don't do too well. Here's some red salad bowl that I plant. Everything in these three containers I planted from seed. And they're coming up. It looks like I just trained a bunch of, I just let you see a bunch of dirt, didn't I? But anyways, a bunch of soil. Anyways, there's some seedlings coming up. These are dwarf Siberian kale. This is dwarf Siberian kale. And these are some red Russian kales. Doing nicely. Now, everyone says spinach is hard to grow, and I even heard one of the gardeners say not to try it on your first year because it can be frustrating. But I have spinach planted and coming up, so those are noble giants back there. And whatever I did must have just been the combination of the right thing. This perpetual spinach never did do anything. The seeds didn't germinate. Bloomsdale spinach, those seem like they're doing nicely. And I have a couple of spinach long standings that's coming up. So that's quite hopeful. I don't even like spinach, to be honest with you. I only planted those for one of my daughter-in-laws. I told her this is her container. She loves spinach. I'll eat them in salads when they're tender and young, but cooked, it's not my kind of thing. Some ruby red Swiss chard is coming up. And I haven't had much luck with Swiss chard. People say it's easy to grow, but that has not been my experience. Here's some turnip that's coming up. There's some turnips coming up. Turnip. This is a turnip over there. I moved that one over there. And I moved this turnip over here because the Swiss chard was just not coming up. But that looks kind of red. Maybe it is a Swiss chard. I don't know. We'll see when it comes up. Over here, those are my garlics. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I will forever have a covered hoop house in the winter and fall because everything just grows so beautifully. These are mustard greens coming up, collard greens. All of these I started from seed. Giant red mustard. Now, the thing is, if you look, I started these all the way back September 25th. Everything that's in these containers was started September 25th. I don't know if they normally take this long to come up. Something's been munching on them. I don't know if they normally take this long to come up, but they didn't really take off until I started amending the soil and when I moved them over to this hoop house where I have a heater in there. That's when everything just really took off. I keep the heat at about 65 to 67 and everything just grows. Now, because we've had some frigid temperatures lately, I haven't been out here. It's just been completely encased under the tarp with the heater. And when I came out yesterday, everything was just had grown leaps and bounds, and I would have caught something like this normally because I usually come out every day and I would have seen it, but it had been 3 days since I came out, and as a result, that's what I found. Something had been munching away, but we all have to live, don't we? I don't know. Here is a lettuce that I cut, a romaine. I cut it way back after the freeze because it was really damaged. And look how much it's come back again. That one I did the same too, and it was trying, but now I think the base of it, the root has rotted, I believe. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'll just get rid of this right here. It ain't going to, oh yeah, see how that just snapped off? It's not going to do nothing. Serving no purpose. Now the bad thing about this, there's some of my curly leaf kale, some of my pineapple mint. The bad thing is my onions are going to seed because the temperatures have been, oh, I could feel all the little seeds in there. That's so neat. You could see the seeds bulging through, but the onions are going to seed because it's been so warm in here. And that's fine with me. I like spring onions or bunching onions, whatever you want to call them. As a matter of fact, these are ones that I got from the grocery store back in September. And after I cut off the tops, I stuck the bases down in the ground and they've grown back. Several times I've done that, but I don't eat them that often. And I mainly just got it so that the smell could keep some of the pest away. So a little bit of companion planting. If they go to seed, that's fine. I'll probably just, as a matter of fact, I don't know. I'm not going to do anything to them right now, though. I don't eat them like that. So it's not a big deal to me. Here's the romaine that survived the freeze. And I just keep taking it from around the outsides. Instead of harvesting the whole head, I just keep cutting leaves off. And they just keep, growing and thriving. They haven't started bolting yet, so far so good. Here are some lemon thyme and German thyme that's still hanging on and doing good. Flat leaf parsley. This is, now I need to know what is coming in here munching. I wonder if it's slugs or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to spray these down. Here's a cabbage collard that's I had to cut back after the freeze. It's recovering well. This is a cabbage collard right here that I need to go on and start trying to harvest some of this and eat it before the other creatures enjoy it. They seem to be enjoying it before I get to. I think part of my problem is that I just like watching it grow, and then I'm getting ready to start missing the windows of harvest. Here's some dill. Now, my other dill died, and I think it's because it's too warm in here. This one's growing nicely. It was so small when I put it in there. I think that the other one died because it's probably too warm. This thyme right here, it was on its last leg, and it took so long before it finally started trying to fight for life, but it's doing it. It's making it. This is another cabbage collard. I had never even heard of cabbage collard until I started experimenting and playing in my garden. So these are all an assortment of broccoli and Brussels sprouts that's growing leaps and bounds. I'm really, really impressed. Back there I have garlic that's coming up. I probably planted those way too soon, and the heat is probably doing too much to it as well. There's a mustard green that something's munching on. Here I have some comfrey leaves. I mean, not comfrey, well, they are leaves, but comfrey plants. And they are growing. I've had no problem getting these to grow. Once I received the little rhizomes and put it in the ground, and they just took off. They did really well. So these are cabbage. I think these are cabbage collards also that we're looking at right here. I believe those are cabbage collards. I'm gonna go on and start harvesting some of these things probably this afternoon or tonight, and make up a little, this rosemary, make up a little bit of it, because why grow it if I'm not gonna enjoy it? This cilantro is probably bolting right here. Well, it's obviously bolting. I guess I'll cut it down. Oregano, some more pineapple mint, and and some more curly leaf parsley. These cabbages, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I scalped them big time because the leaves were looking a little crazy. I didn't know if there was insects on it or what was going on, but they came back really quick and they're looking great. I'd like to harvest some of those young leaves, but you know what? I'm just going to leave it so that they could start trying to roll in the center. This is, when I first did this bed, I planted some tiny, what were they called? Anyways, it was some kind of micro carrot. And this is the only one that survived. That was way back in September. And it's the lone survivor and is fighting for its life. Now the beets, they finally are starting to try to do something. They've been in the ground forever. Everything has been in here forever, and since September. Everything has been in here since September. All of it was started from seed. So I don't know if that's how long it normally takes to grow, but you know, I had nothing else to do but to be patient, and as a result, they all seem to be growing. Over here, I have my fruit trees. As you can see, only the Fuji apple still has a set of leaves. Only has 2 leaves left on it, but that was to be expected anyway, wasn't it? Peach. This is a contender peach. This is a Santa Rosa plum. This is a persimmon tree. A Red Delicious. This is this is the Fuji with those 2 little leaves hanging on. Don't know why. And this is a Bartlett pear tree that had fire blight shortly after we got it, but we pruned that off. This is a brown turkey fig, I believe. No, this is a Carlos muscadine. That's a Carlos muscadine. This is the brown turkey fig right here. And this is a dwarf mulberry. This was a moringa. I have tried to plant moringa probably, you don't even know what you're looking at, do you? Because it's so gone. I have tried to plant moringa probably 4 times now, and I just don't have any luck. So I'm still gonna give it one more shot. This is a lemon tree that has yet to produce any lemons. I probably should have kept it in a container and not tried to put it in the ground, but I didn't know a thing about it, and I didn't look anything up before I put it in the ground. So it is what it is. It's in there now. Either it's just gonna forever be a prickly little shrub, or it will eventually start producing. Everything had died off on it after that freeze, but there's signs of new life coming. This one over here, this I thought was a lemon tree all this time. After all the leaves fell off, because this is the first year I've ever had all the leaves to fall off of this one and the lemon tree. All the leaves fell off, and there was a tag, and when I looked at the tag, it said orange tree. So anyways, that was a pleasant little surprise, but you can see all the green shoots coming off of it, the green branches. So maybe that freeze reset everything or jump-started everything, and they're going to actually give me some fruit this year. We'll hope and see. Here's what I affectionately call my salad bowl. And as you can see, the curly leaf kale is doing beautifully. The red Russian kale is coming up nicely. I have a nice romaine going on over there. I don't know what this plant right here was going to be because I threw those seeds. That's just an assortment. So I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it looked like it bolted. And I don't know what this one is either. So here's some red oak leaf lettuce that I planted from seed, iceberg lettuce, corn Dutch. I did all of these December 11th. And they probably should have been further along than they are, but I don't know. They've taken off now, and that's all I'm concerned about. The prize head never did grow, and if you watch my last video, you'll see that these are transplants of kitchen scraps that I have coming back. Black-seeded Simpson. So yeah, it's been a minute since I top dressed anything with magnesium. So I just signed off for a second and came back out here, got rid of all those leaves that had been chewed up by the insects or slug or whatever. I suspect it might have been slugs, so I have given everything a nice little coating of Epsom salt to deter the slugs, because if you were ever one of those children that like to play with nature, you know what salt does to slugs. So sorry, but I need my vegetables. Anyways, everything is back to looking beautiful. I got rid of all the dead leaves. Well, they weren't dead, but you know what I mean. That's the hoop house that we struggled with during one of those breezy nights and days. And we finally got a good design going. I'll be showing that a little later. And I know I've said that probably in 2 videos now, but I am gonna show because we're gonna redo this one over here and make it the same way as the big one. And then we're gonna probably do another one to encase everything that's over here, although everything over there is really cold hardy. We still cover it over at nighttime. I take that tarp right there and drape it over those poles and clip it to the buckets at the back, and that's what I do when the weather's gonna be anywhere lower than 40 at night. Part of the problem that I had, I think, in reflecting back, was that I kept trying to, I didn't want to admit that the soil was that much of a difference. I felt like, you know, if you put it in the ground, it's just going to do what it's going to do because there's soil. Now I have a better understanding that you really need to have good soil. It needs to be amended and, you know, add your compost to it and whatnot. In order for everything to get to the state that it's in now, I had to backtrack because originally I just had this bed filled with topsoil only. So then I had to struggle and go back and keep adding magnesium, you know, by way of Epsom salt. I had to add bone meal, blood meal, a lot of compost, top dressing, and I fertilize it all the time with fish emulsion and my compost tea. I think I would have had success earlier on had I not been trying to fight the process and be stubborn. But anyways, that's just a quick little winter update, and I'll be back in a few weeks with another one. You all have a great day.
This channel promotes the goodness in life. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And above all, prosper and be in good health.